Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we're going over the latest on the Nashville Predators superstar winger, Filip Forsberg. We talked about this last week, that the Nashville Predators general manager, David Poile, is actively shopping the superstar forward. So, what's the latest intel? Now, we're starting to hear about one team in particular that is super interested in Forsberg. We'll be going over that today. So, let's go over Filip Forsberg, 27-year-old forward. He was drafted in the 2012 NHL draft, one of the worst trades of all time, the 11th overall pick in 2012, and it was a straight-up trade, I'm pretty sure. Filip Forsberg to the Nashville Predators. The Capitals got back Martin Erat. That's right, Martin Erat. And you look at that trade now, it doesn't look so good. But Filip Forsberg has had an incredible career with the Preds. And you look at what he's done this season, he has 45 points in 40 games, 27 goals, 18 assists. You add that up together, 45 points. So above a point per game player at this rate. And I don't see anything really slowing him down. He's currently making $6 million. That contract ends this summer, so he's going to be up for a new deal. And I would assume it would be closer to $8-9 million per season on a contract for Forsberg. And he's probably looking at a longer-term deal between probably 6 to 8 years, depending on if he signs with the team that he's with at that time. So Filip Forsberg is a guy that is definitely going to be attractive to a lot of teams. A lot of teams aren't going to be able to acquire him, though, because they just don't have the assets. They don't have the prospects. They don't have the draft picks. They don't have the prospect pool. But there is one team out there. There's a couple of teams, but one team that definitely has those picks. They missed out on Jack Eichel, but they still have those players. So this is from Darren Drager. Filip Forsberg is expected to get north of $8 million on his next contract. We already talked about that. And this is from Arthur Staple. If you know where he does insiders, no, it's not the Islanders anymore. I'm still a little bit annoyed by that, but best of luck to him. That's his team growing up, Arthur Staples. The New York Rangers have contacted Nashville about Filip Forsberg. Now, there's a lot that can be done with this sort of trade. Filip Forsberg is a guy that if the Rangers are going to get a top 6 winger, who goes? Now, right off the bat, there's 2 names you could throw out there. One, I think Ranger fans would be more receptive to. The other one, I don't know if they'd want to do it. The first one is Vitaly Kravtsov. He's been on the Rangers draft block since the beginning of the season. Really, at the end of training camp, the Rangers staffs, pretty much Chris Drury told him, listen, you are not good enough. You are going back to the AHL to play for the Hartford Wolfpack. And Kravtsov said things, I'm sure, pretty much told them to F off. And said, I'm going back to Russia. So when you trade me, let me know, and I'll come back. I think that's kind of how that last conversation went down. Maybe a little bit more PG-13 or rated R. But you get the point. Now, here's the thing. So you got Kravtsov, right? So Kravtsov's not on the team. So that doesn't really affect you that much. But what about a guy like Filip Chytil? Would the Rangers want to give up on Chytil? Again, he's a young guy. He could play center. I don't know if the Rangers would be keen on losing a guy like that. But again, it could work in the right situation. And then this is the one that everybody loves when I mention him. And that's Capo Cacco, the 2020 second overall pick behind Jack Hughes of the Devils. I think there's some interest for Capo Cacco. Now, the reason I say that is Cacco right now has not played. He's really been injured a lot of this season. He's been on injured reserve. Sammy Blais has been on injured reserve, and he probably will be out the rest of this season. And Filip Chytil is day-to-day. So the Rangers and Nemeth's out. Like, the Rangers have some bigger guys out of the lineup. But you look at their top six, there's a hole there on the right side. Now, I think that's where Filipino would end up going. But you have Dryden Hunt there right now. So, you could definitely say Forsberg would definitely be an upgrade over Dryden Hunt on your second line. He's more of an AHL guy. So then the question is, okay, so it's Filip Forsberg. Now, what does Nashville want from the Rangers, right? Because you look at the Predators lineup, you've got a lot of veterans there. And then you've also got the splatter of young guys. So you've got Granlund, Duchesne, and Johansson in your top six. Again, we're forgetting Forsberg because Forsberg would be going to the Rangers. So you have Luke Cunnin, Phil Tomasino, Tanner Jeannot, Colton Sissons, and Yakov Trenin. Eli Tolvanen, Michael McCarron, Matt Luff. I mean, those guys are all fairly young. Maybe not all superstar players and going to be top six forwards, but there's players there that are young. Defense, this could be interesting too. Roman Josi, Dante Fabro, Matisse Ekholm, Matthew Benning, Alex Carrier, and Philip Myers. So they could definitely use a little bit of a shakeup to their defense. And the only guy they're missing right now is Mark Borowiecki. So if that's the case, who could fit in? Now, ideally, if you're the Predators, you're looking for a right shot defenseman on the Rangers that's young, up and coming. You know, if you're lucky, maybe on their entry-level contract. What could we be looking at? Now, I don't see the Rangers trading Adam Fox. For the obvious reason, he is probably the Rangers superstar right now. So that's probably not happening. What about Braden Schneider? Now, that is the only other. So they only have three listed right shot defensemen here. They have Jacob Trouba, Adam Fox, and Braden Schneider. So that would be the guy they'd probably have to give up. And I could see the Predators wanting that. I could see John Hines going after a guy like Braden Schneider, a big kid from Western Canada, from the WHL, the Big West. Braden Schneider fits that bill. And he's already worn the gold mustard jerseys playing for the Brandon Wheat Kings. He could definitely fit there. And I think that's something that the Rangers would probably have to parse. You're looking at Braden Schneider, probably a first-round pick. And if you do a sign-and-trade, it could cost you one of those young guys like Hedl or Cacco. And Kravtsov, maybe. Or I'm not saying all those guys. You get what I'm saying. One of those three young wingers and Braden Schneider and a first-round pick. Again, it's not going to be cheap to get Forsberg, but the Rangers right now are a team that, unless you are sold, you are dead set that Braden Schneider is a top four pairing right shot defenseman, maybe he is expendable right now. And I'm not saying that's the best thing long term for the Rangers, but if you get Forsberg for the rest of this season and you lock him up and you sign him before the free agency period, that is a huge win for the Rangers. And this is a guy that they could build around. He's still 27 years old. There is something still left in the tank for big Filip Forsberg. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Leave some mock trades for Filip Forsberg. Some of you were saying the Seattle Kraken. Obviously, the New York Rangers is a big team that everybody's talking about. So let me know what you guys think. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.